Now, I'm pretty sure, I mean, there's something in there. I'm pretty sure there's only 2 or 3 gallons of fuel in here. Let's go take a look. Welcome back to the channel. It's spring break and this is day number 2 in a row that we're rocking it door wide open. It's like almost 80 degrees outside. Just a beautiful day. Jalen's here. He just did a little short video on this. And this is kind of my bad. This is the auxiliary, the fuel tank for the Bronco on the driver's side under the rocker panel. And we had it out to do some little bit of rust repair. Before this, we've had this Bronco running. Runs great, pulls fuel off of both tanks. I wasn't gonna do fuel sending units. What had happened originally was the customer ran the thing out of gas. That's why it got parked 20 years ago anywho. But just for funsies, Jalen wanted to play with the Vivor borescope camera. And I said, hey, real quick, go get that, look in there, and we'll make sure that that sending unit looks okay. And it does not. So now that we know this one's shot, we're gonna change out both of them. And for this one, since it's out of the car right now, we're gonna show you how we do that on these old style sending units. All right, so Jalen's gonna kind of hold on to this thing. We got her on the sawhorses here. Because we got a whack on this ring. There's an interior metal ring with a couple little stops. It clocks on clockwise and off counterclockwise. And the main thing, you're going to need a hammer and a punch, but please use a brass punch. If you use a steel punch on here and you make a spark, it could make your day go bad.
Is it going?
Yeah. Too bad. Rings off. And now, yeah, this is what we saw on the borescope. That's what's left of the float and the whole sending unit. So, yeah, that's all of the float we got left, and that's brass. So you gotta have some pretty nasty fuel in there to eat through that. So yeah, and then we've got a little bit of gunk in there, I'm sure. Yeah, there's some gunk and the pieces and parts. There's some gunk in there, the pieces and parts of the float. Yeah, the fill tube. We'll get some stuff in there. We'll clean that all out. Good thing is this is a plastic tank, so it's not going to be super rusty. But yeah, we need a new sending unit. We're just going to do both tanks now, and it'll set us back just a little bit, but not too bad. A few days later, alert, let's review slightly corroded with surface rust and contaminants old sender unit. Fancy new stainless steel, new brass float, new sock, new sending unit. So we got this auxiliary tank. We went ahead and hit it with the pressure washer and really got all the cruddies out of it. And now we're gonna go ahead. I got the new, this comes with a new lock ring, a new gasket that's already in here. And this bad rag goes just like this. And we'll have to get under these hangs. Oh, the gasket just got in the way there. Of course it did. They can get, sometimes you gotta finagle one side in and then drop the other side in. And those two little tabs gotta fit. Here, I'll show you. two little notches here and here correspond with these two little tabs on here. And it is impossible to put it in the backwards. Come on. There we go. So it should drop pretty decent for you. And that's a matter of slipping this ring over. And even though this tank has been cleaned out with a pressure washer and everything else, we're gonna go ahead and grab our brass punch. Up there, easy as that. These final tabs, or the final stop on the ring, is up against the retainer in 3 places. That is installed now and ready to provide good fuel and good fuel level management. We're going to go ahead and install this. It's pretty tight under there. We got a skid plate we got to do, retainer straps, and then we still have a little bit of repair on a couple of fuel lines. We're replacing all the rubber fuel lines on this Bronco. Let's get under there, get some of that done, and we'll catch you up. Okay, tank is in. It's 2 days later alert, something like that. Trying to make some room here so we can roll under and show you where we are at. Take my phone out of my pocket because I just came from the house. Here's what's going on. So, oh, my liver. Here we go. Need light probably. All right, here, I mean, every piece of rubber fuel line or vent line has been replaced. New fill hose, new tank vent hose, new cinder line. Life is good. Tank is all mounted up. Remember, we did just a little bit of rust repair on this rocker. I'm real pleased with how this turned out because we aren't painting this rig, and the bottom of this rocker is just kind of virginal galvanized metal. Well, we blended that in with some, believe it or not, hammered silver. And so it all kind of looks uniform the way it was when we got the thing. And then up under here, our valve is just kind of loosely attached. We previously put this new line in, new line here, new line to that front tank. And we're moving on back here to the rear tank, the trunk tank. And we're gonna pull this cinder in the car. Now, I'm pretty sure, I mean, there's something in there. I'm pretty sure there's only 2 or 3 gallons of fuel in here. So we're gonna try and get this done while it's sitting right here in the Bronco. We just did some wire brushing around here. I'll blow that out and we'll get you guys, I think you can sit right up underneath the bed of the Bronco here and watch. And we're going to pop this cinder out, see how bad it is, and then we'll get our little V4 bore scope out, take a look inside the tank. Hopefully life isn't disastrous in there. And then we've got one more little rubber line here to replace when we go back in with the new cinder. And then, you know, it's been a cold minute since this Bronco has run. And if everything cooperates in an hour, a little over an hour, it might be running again. I already went to the Casey's and I got a giant Dr. Pepper and filled up a couple gas cans. So this is right in my face. I know. Here, there we go. So let's get this back cinder unit pickup tube replaced. And let's put some fire in this beast again. All right, we got our hose snippers. We're just gonna snip on this guy because we're replacing him anyway. See what kind of fuel comes out of there. Just a drippy drip, not too bad. That's a good sign as far as taking a gasoline shower goes. Ooh, it smells old. And then we've already kind of broken this one end free. So he comes off and goes away. This line over here, or this half of the line, I'm gonna roll up over here, is plastic. So, you know, we don't want to twist on it and bang it around too bad. I just want to nicely ask it to let go. There it goes. There, perfect. No barbs on these plastic lines either. So when we're going back together, because we got the springies fuel clamps, and I bought a whole bunch of new ones. But when we go back to this plastic line here with no barb, we're gonna double up just because we can. All right, now we need some brass hammer. Well, I got one of those. Let's get a brass punch and the hammer and see what happens. Okay, spritzy with okay. What we got going here? Yeah, let's just do something like this. It sounds empty. I can't, the angles are not great. There she goes. Now she's turning. Just need a little more persuasion. Done. We're off. Okay, that guy goes away. Now I don't know. I need a little. I just need a screwdriver. Do I have one of those down here, or do I have to roll out? I gotta roll out. Way back. We're back. We have a drain pan, and maybe we can. If there is a bunch of fuel in here, the release can be, whoa, yeah, we're gonna have a spill. Okay, so remember when I said there might only be 2 or 3 gallons in here? There may be a little more than that. We're just gonna let her trickle here. I think we're catching everything, so that's good. I didn't use a clean pan, but the fuel that's trickling, okay. All right. Well, I don't think we're too bad. But the fuel that's trickling out, I mean, it isn't completely rust colored, so that's good. Okay, there. We're loose now. We're not too bad. So our fuel level must be right here. So we probably got, yeah, I mean 2 or 3 or 4 gallons in there. We didn't have a complete gusher here. All right. Oh yeah, it's a good thing we did this. we got cinder issues. The float is no longer afloat. Now the pickup looks much better, but overall we're pretty rusty on the cinder. We'll get this out and take a closer look here in a second. I'm gonna steal your backlighting and just want to look with the borescope, but I don't. It ain't perfect, but I don't think we're in too bad a shape to do that. Oops. Is that bright enough? Yeah, it is, I think. All right, we're back with the Vevor borescope. And now I'm going to have to be a little careful because although this has been a pretty robust little tool so far, look, there's the top of the tank. I don't think it's going to like being dunked in the gasoline. So we're just going to go in here a little bit. Oh yeah, we're not in too bad a shape. We can see all around. There's our, you can see, even see, let me see if I can get it to pan down. You can see through the fuel. We've got some surface rusting on the bottom of the tank. See those little speckles there? Let me see if I can get it to, yeah, there we go. We can see right down to the bottom. This is fine, you guys. And then we've got some surface rust up top. Good deal. All right, that's all I need to see. We won't record that, but it's pretty quality stuff. I'm enjoying this Vevor borescope. Go up, click up here at the top of the screen right about now. Jalen did a whole little video on this bad ride, and it's just been super useful. So neither one of them have a float anymore. But this was the one from the front tank, and it is, I mean, you can tell the level of corrosiveness, and yeah, but this one also not, it ain't playing. But the pickup sock looked much better on this one. All in all, both of them are toast, but again, and we're lucky, the back one looks a lot better, and the inside of that tank looks great, all things considered. Now we get the Bronco pouring out. We have a new stainless. It has the difference in these, I think this one will go into the back tank. The problem is your level accuracy, your fuel level is going to be not correct. It has to have the longish arm to reach down into the back tank has got like a downward slide to it. So here's our new unit all ready to rock. What else we got in that box? We got a ring and a gasket. Let's go put this bad right in. Okay, new gasket. Hopefully it'll hang out in this little groove for us. That would be helpful. Okay. We might have to use a little dab of grease or something to help that stay. Float. Oops, float in. And I think we just go, whoop, there our gasket's gonna get knocked around. Oh, gas tried running down my arms. Yuck. Okay. Okay. And we should be able to just kind of boop this in here. We got to find, I got to turn a little bit more. Ooh, we're close. Okay. For some reason, come on. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, no. Here, we're going to pull her out and regroup a little bit. Okay, we are back. Here's what the deal is, dudes and dudettes. On these new replacement units, they put, for some reason, more angle in this bend right here, and this bad ride goes in just like that. So this guy should be right at the bottom of the tank and just barely touch it. If you put more angle in here, then when this touches the bottom of the tank, it cants this like this, and that's why this flange will not go square into the tank. So although, and I just did a little short video, when you're looking for parts, a very reputable Bronco Graveyard sold us this, and I'm not dogging on them, but I am kind of letting them know their stuff ain't quite right. Otherwise, it's a very nice piece. It's 10 degrees off. When they come out of the box, they're 50, and we had to put this back down to 40. So let's see if this is better now, with a little bit less of an angle to the dangle. I have a feeling it's going to go right in now once I get it rotated the right way. Come on. No, we're still up against the bottom, I think. I might have to take a little more. Dang it. See, I can't push down. I can get the bottom lip in, but then the top lip won't go. Yeah, we're gonna have to take a little more. We're really close though. This is frustrating, but it's all part of the parts game nowadays. Back again. We gave it maybe another 3 or 4 degrees. The thing is, you don't want to take too much out of it, because then you're not pulling fuel from the bottom of the tank, and you won't get, you know, a whole tank full out of a tank full. So, oh, my creeper's not cooperating with me. One more try here. Let's go. Let's do this. Final attempt, I hope. There it goes. There it goes. There. This big of a deal. There it goes. I'm just going to press each one of these little. I think that one's in. I don't think this bottom one is, so, or maybe it is. Oh yeah, we're good. You just had to get that top one there in. When you first take a couple tippy taps on these new rings, just make sure you're started. And I think we are. Yeah, we're going. how that ring kind of dances around the center there. Eventually, when you get to the second stage here and really suck it down, it'll center up a little better. Oh, there's a vent hose in the way. We're almost up against their stop here. Oh shoot, you guys bounced around. I'm sorry. I just noticed you. I'm gonna wipe this off so you can see those tabs a little better. And I think we're there, and we're there. Does that look pretty centered to you guys? We need to go to our right a little bit, it looks like, with the ring. So we'll do that. I like it. Okay. Got our fuel line pre-cut here. Just gotta do a little bendy bend to get it on started. There. There. That's where I want it, I think. Yeah, anywhere in there. Okay. Like I said, we got a barb on the sender side. So we're just going to put one new springy clamp there. And then because there's no barb over here, we're going to double up. Now, this isn't under any pressure, but it is under what you call vacuum. And we don't want the fuel pump, the mechanical pump on the engine, whoops, sucking air when it's trying to suck fuel. We cleaned up our ground spot on the frame with a little bit of emery. Man, it smells like old fuel down here. I wonder why. Retouch our ground wire. Done. All right, ladies and gents, dudes, dudettes, it's time. And I know this isn't as dramatic as some first start videos because it's not been forevers and evers, and we've seen this run before, but man, it's been over a year. Things just kind of got a little out of balance as to you know, what was first on the to-do list. But now we're back, and we've got key on, we've got the cheater button here. We're going to give her just a little bit of a squirt. There's no reason why we shouldn't just be happy pretty close to off the bat here. I think we're in park. I hope we are. We don't have a fuel pedal. Oh yeah, we're pretty good. We're pretty good here. Let's give her a little more drinky drink. It'll take a little bit to get fuel from the tank through all those empty lines, through the fuel pump and whatever else. So we're going to be here for just a minute. I see 0 drips. Continuing. Patience is what is needed. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we got nothing at the carburetor yet. What we're going to do, we're going to take our distributor wire off, and we're just going to crank this some and see if we can pull fuel up to the carb here. Nothing yet. Okay. Well, that didn't go too well. I even invited the customer over and said, hey, come have a dad pop and hear your Bronco run for the first time in over a year while we've been doing this body work and other delays and stuff. And he says, yeah, sure, I'll come over. And he came over, and by the time he came over, I'd already run right into a brick wall. Here's kind of where we landed. We could pressurize either of the fuel tanks and get fuel easily to the mechanical pump that had been down there, foreshadowing. And then on the carburetor side, we could hook up a vacuum pump to the line right at the carburetor, but we couldn't pull fuel through the pump at all. I mean, zero. I mean, it would hold vacuum, 20 inches of vacuum for forever sitting here. And it didn't matter. I tried beating on the pump. I tried doing all kinds of stuff, little things. We ended up pulling the pump. I don't have it because we looked it up. We bought it from Irish about 2 years ago, one of the very first things we purchased for this project. So we've got a brand spanking new pump for it. That's what she looks like. I do not know what failed on the other one. I would have liked to have cut into it and seen, now there's a check valve in there that maybe could have stuck, but literally, dudes and dudettes, this pump had a handful, probably less than that, 2-3 hours of run time. The most this thing ever went was a half mile to the east and a half mile back, and then on and off, move it in and around the shop, checking other things like when we serviced the transmission and things like that, making sure things were running good. And that is about it. So but something stuck internally. And if you got an idea, tippy tap in the comments, because I'm really curious if somebody's had this happen with a mechanical fuel pump, because I can't remember a time when I saw one fail like this. So either way, we did manage to finagle the pump off without moving the power steering, but it was complete pain in the you-know-what. So we're going to go ahead, pull the power steering pump off to the side, clean the gasket surfaces up, put the new pump on, and then hopefully, you know, we can get this thing running here in just a little bit. Okay, so you don't need to pull the power steering completely out of the way. What we did is we took the front support bracket off and we just kind of rotated it back a little bit, and then you can kind of weasel under here if you got ET arms and fingers like me, and that'll get you access to that block side of the fuel pump mount to clean that off. So that's ready, all cleaned up. We got the gasket attached to the new gasket attached to the new pump with the Permatex Super Tack, and then we put a little bit of grease. I like to do this. This is a cam driven pump, so we've got a little bit of grease on the lever arm. Okay, we are back together. This bracketry right here is what I'm talking about. Take 2 of the water pump bolts out and this nut off of here. Then you slide this forward a little bit, take the belt off, and kind of just roll this back, and then you can get in here. It looks like, it really does look like you ought to be able to, you know, get down in there and get to those bolts, but she can't. There's just not enough room with things all put together like this. So, but you get that bracket out of the way, that gives you a lot more space and real estate to work with. But we're tightened back up. We've got the hard line hooked up to the pump. We've got this hard line hooked up to the outlet. So now we're disconnected right up here by the carburetor, this little barb fitting. We're going to crank it with the cheater button just a little bit here and see if we can get fuel up to the carburetor. Oh, there we go. Just at the end there, nice strong squirt of gas. We don't want to cover the whole dang thing with fuel, but that's what we weren't getting last night. All right, we cleaned everything up. Not kidding, this thing ran like a champ before, you guys. All right, let's see what we got going on here. There we go. High idle. That's what we needed right there. Woo-wee! Boy, it fought us, dudes and dudettes, but what a smooth running hot rod this thing is now. Heck yes. I'm sure we still have oil pressures. We're charging. We got oil pressures. We got almost no gas in that tank. Now we're going to take our manual valve and switcher. Do the old switcheroo, let it run a little bit like that, and I think that should show us a little bit of gas in that tank. It's coming up. Life ain't too bad right now. Let's double check for fuel leaks. That's not a fuel leak, that's the front output on the transfer case. Everything's dry under there. That doesn't have a great exhaust on it right now, but we'll let you listen here. Just running great. What a nice running rig, huh? Alrighty, so we're gonna end this one here. Ended on a high note, but man, did it fight us. That's just the way things go, I guess. And like I said before, it's a testament to once you get your hot rod, vintage car, whatever, running the way you like it, you can't just forget about the darn thing. Get out there once every few weeks, once every couple weeks would be the best. I don't care if it's dead of winter, whatever. Get out there, start it up, drive it around a little bit if you can, but at least get it started, warmed up, get some fresh gas through everything so you don't run into issues like we just had to deal with this. That's it for this one. If you're liking what you're seeing, click the like button, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and we're gonna keep after it. Lift kit should be next, so we'll do a lift kit, dress up things underneath the Bronco, and go from there. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.